Hello and welcome to the 90s Mags podcast, your Newcastle United podcast, hosted by three lifelong Newcastle fans. Myself, D-Man, joined by my regular co-host, AC and Jefferson. How you doing, guys?
What's up?
Yeah?
What's good?
Yeah?
Boy.
You all right? Good
Feeling
boy.
fresh, man. Feeling fresh.
Yeah. We're joined today by our special guest, long-time Tottenham Hotspur fan, Mr. Darren T. How you doing, boss?
I am good. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's an honor and a pleasure.
Welcome. You're welcome. Anytime. So as you can probably gather, a lot of this is going to be previewing the big game on Sunday, Newcastle versus Spurs. I suppose we can call this episode the Heartbreak Hotel, given the state that both our clubs are in. Yeah. Lack of transfers, which you can talk on a bit later.
Oh, man, please don't.
Boy.
Up and down start to the season. For both of us, both on 4 points, you know. It's a lot. It's a lot to handle at the moment. Yeah. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're available on the audio on the Spotify and Apple podcast as well. So let's get a quick temperature check. So I'll start with Ace and Jefferson. In a nutshell, yeah, we've touched on it before. How do you still see? Is there any similarities between the way we started and Spurs, how our season's going at the moment, and what are your expectations in the short term moving forward? So I'm going to go to you, Jefferson.
In terms of similarities, I don't know, I think as good as Ange is, it seems like there isn't as much pressure on him, but maybe, Darren will shed a bit of light on that. In terms of us, though, I just think it's that weird scenario where we should be on a high after, getting a win in the League Cup yesterday. But the style and the manner of the way we are playing, i.e. the performances, have not been good enough. And it feels like there's a real lack of momentum. We're winning ugly. We're getting results ugly. But in terms of the style of play, the lack of cohesion in passages of the play and between the coaching staff, the hierarchy and the team, in terms of an analogy, I would say we were like a car, and that when Eddie came in was full of petrol, blasting new rims, everything, riding the highway like the
20-inch rims.
autobahn. You know what I mean? Wham, foot to the pedal.
With the rim spinning, yeah.
I'm telling you, you got the neon lights underneath. It's like some Need for Speed
It's
on the
Fast and
ground.
Furious.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Emily.
Luda.
But it's reached that point now where the car's just chugging along. There's no petrol left, and we're grinding towards that halt. That's how it feels right now.
AC, would you agree with that, or you got anything different? A different opinion?
I don't know if I can beat that analogy right there. That is that's very detailed. And when you say it's coming to a halt, I kind of felt that. Now, if you've had experience like myself, you know what it feels like when the car's running out of petrol, when you ain't put enough money in the tank when you're younger. But yeah, I think it's an interesting time. A lot of our performances so far hasn't been great, to be honest. We're kind of getting by a little bit. And honestly, I didn't think we're going to win that game against Forest. When it hit penalties, I was just like, nah, I can't see it. But I think with Eddie Howe, just generally speaking, he starts seasons quite slow and generates momentum going forward. But, there's a lot of other speculation to go into this around Eddie Howe and the club at the moment, because the elephant in the room you have to address is just that the business in the transfer window at the moment is like non-existent.
We'll get the transfers.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into that, but when you think about those outside things coming in, that's not off the pitch coming into this game as well against Spurs. I feel like the pressure is on, because I think we did say in the last pod as well that, if the result didn't go too well in the Forest game, the pressure is really on. But still, the pressure is on for this game. And I feel like the home crowd, the fans are expecting to see a good performance.
Okay, so taking in the first 2 league games, obviously Newcastle started with a win and then a draw, and Tottenham did the reverse, draw then a win. Darren T, what's your thoughts on the first 2 games of the season for Spurs? How they performed? Have you seen a lot to be positive about, or are you quite concerned? What's your thoughts?
Okay, right. The Leicester game felt like a loss. I must say, it felt like a loss. I think the first half of that game, we're all over them. It was like more of the same from last season. So I was very disappointed in that game because I think it should have been out of sight. Should have been out of sight from the first half. We should have been 2-3 up in the first half and just killed the game. And I just thought to myself, do you know what? It's the first game of the season. I didn't see that killer instinct. However, we have signed a striker, and a decent one at that, who I think is going to get a lot of goals. So I wasn't panicking. If you see Spurs Twitter, the meltdowns are crazy. But I wasn't ready to melt down yet. I said, let's just see what happens against Everton. And of course, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's Everton. I don't really rate them, and I kind of tip them for relegation. However, to do them the way we did, I think that was a great way of coming back from that Leicester result. That helps to give the team confidence going into a very difficult game at St James's Park, considering the last 2 results, which we're not going to mention here at all, are we?
What was the aggregate score? Sorry, the last 2 results. What was it?
I can't remember. I couldn't remember.
Anybody? I mean, I can't remember
the selective
myself.
memory. The selective memory has
you scored though. At least you scored. Yeah. I think it's 10-1 or something like that. But yeah, who's counting anyway?
Funny enough, you did come to our lane and we slapped you 4-1 in between.
Yeah, but we're meant to spark it. Like,
gloves are off already on this pod, man. Gloves are off already.
Is that we had like 14 players?
When Wilson missed that sitter to make it, I think it was 4-2, and the keeper caught it, and then he stuck his tongue out at him, and he looked so vexed. Yeah. He looked so vexed.
I was there for that game, and I was sitting with the Spurs fans. Can you imagine that? Yeah,
I forgot what Wilson said about Richarlison. Yeah, come on,
see
man.
that?
Yeah, because he did it on the pod, didn't he? Oh
yeah. And he ended up outscoring him as well. But anyway, that's by the way.
Yes, but that's by the way. Yeah, sorry. See, we started already. How many minutes are we into this? It's man's fault. Always.
It's always my fault.
Always.
But you mentioned Solanke, right? So obviously, big money signing. Was it 65 million? I think it was
65 mil. Yeah, overpriced, but English tax is always going to be that.
Yeah, we know about English tax. We're dealing with it now. But okay, you said he's going to score. You expect him to score a lot of goals. Obviously, he's carrying a bit of an injury, so he's going to miss the game on Sunday. Is he the answer to? Obviously, no one can replace Harry Kane, but is he the long-term answer in your opinion? I mean, how many league goals are you expecting if he stays fit for the remainder? Like, what we saying?
If he stays fit, I expect at least 15. But the thing is, nobody is the answer to Harry Kane. Harry Kane put in numbers that are going to be insurmountable for a while. I'm telling you, it's better to just let Harry Kane go, and just move on. If you want, full well, D man, I was ready for us to sell Harry Kane to City couple seasons back because we had to prepare for life after Harry Kane, and I think that we didn't prepare well enough for it. I'm just happy to see a striker in and of Solanke's ilk, because what he does is his hold up plays good. I don't think he's too bad in the air. He's got decent feet for somebody his height. Can shoot. Do you know what I mean? I like him. And I think he's going to be the solution. He's going to be the solution for at least 2 to 3 years. At least he's 26 years old. You're going to get good 3 years out of him. Do you see what I'm saying? If he can continue the output. So, yeah. I mean, as a striking solution, fine. I probably would like to sign another striker. Because I don't know if Veliz is going to come back and be it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or promote Will Lancashire. Donnelly, one of the youngsters, because Lancashire's been hitting. He's been scoring goals for under 21s and what have you. So it'd be nice to try and blood him in. So yeah, like I said, no answer to Harry Kane. There's no answer to Harry Kane. There just isn't. We just got to make do amend.
Okay.
Darren, don't you think though as well? I think there's always a chance for a new star to rise, isn't it? Because remember, you lot had the same thing with Bale. You know, when Bale went, it felt almost like he was irreplaceable to the point you signed, was it 7 players?
7 players,
with the money that
Mm.
you sold with him, and then Kane emerged sort of what 3 years later, 2 years later.
Yeah.
So you know, you never know what might happen in that time.
Exactly, and this is why I mentioned you. I mentioned like Lancashire. I mentioned Donnelly. We've got Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore is a baller. I've seen him live. I've seen him. You know, he had a great preseason. He's just putting the work in, man. He's a very, very good footballer. We've got Alfie Devine, who's gone on loan to come back. I really hope he gets first team minutes when he does come back. I don't want to see him sold. We've got Tyrese Hall, who is another baller. Absolute Rolls Royce of a footballer. I know he's young, but we've got a good crop of youngsters coming in, and I think at least one of them is going to be quite a big star. Maybe not in the striking department.
Darren, what do you think about Ange's sort of strategy at the moment, where he appears to be signing young players? So the likes of Bergvall, who I saw in pre-season, who looked really impressive. Wilson Odobert, who was a kind of a bright spark in that Burnley side that got relegated, and then Archie Gray, who everyone's tipping to be a generational talent. Like, what do you think of those young players that have just been signed?
Unlike a lot of Spurs fans, I'm going to go against the grain because a lot of Tottenham fans are, we need to, what are we signing these kids for? What are we doing this for? Listen, all of these have got bright future. I mean, Bergvall especially. I mean, what he was doing in a top division at 17. And yes, people might say, it's a Farmers League, it's the Swedish first division. Listen, if you're doing that in men's football, you know, you got to sit up and take notice. Do you know what I mean? Archie Gray at 18 doing what he did at men's football in the championship. I think a lot of people are very quick to say that this league is rubbish, that league is rubbish, this league is rubbish. Listen, if you make it as a professional footballer, you, especially at these ages, you've done very, very well for yourself. May not transcend to the Premier League, may not translate to the Premier League. I've not got my head in the sand, but at the same time, there is something that the scouting department has seen that is special about the players, and also there is also that data-driven approach that we have as well. So the data's there. So if the data's there, I believe in the eye test along with the data a little bit more than the data. They need to complement one another. They've seen that, they've had the eye test, they've seen the data. So at the end of the day, we just have to trust in what both of those, in conjunction with one another, have said about those players. And we've seen it with our own eyes. The Archie Grays, he was balling out in the championship. Do you know what I mean? Bergvall, he's balling out at 17 years old in a top division. And when I say top division, I don't mean top 5 leagues. I just mean in the first division in a country, right? So, Odobert, I mean, listen, Burnley last season played good football. They just didn't have the firepower and defend, and they were shocking at the back.
Or the goalkeepers.
But, yes. Yeah, I mean,
Sore topic.
I was waiting for that one to come up.
D-man, calm down.
I've got a question for AC, right? So given the Spurs squad and the Newcastle squad, right, and a lot of people online say, you know, they're quite similar in terms of quality and stuff like that. How many Spurs players would you take for the Newcastle side?
I knew you were gonna do that. Oh my gosh.
Let's start with the keep. Would you swap keepers? Vicario or Pope? In fact, I'll go to all of you. Vicario or Pope?
Vicario.
That's quite. I feel conflicted. I feel.
Has he got feet, Vicario?
Has he got muscles?
Listen, they're all fouls. They were all fouls.
Yeah.
For me, I think I'm gonna stick with Pope actually on this one. I'll stick with Pope.
I'd probably say Pope as well. Just right. As much as I slate Vicario, he's a good keeper. He is. And he's got age on his side. Yeah. Jefferson, what are you saying?
Obviously right now Pope, but from what I've seen of Vicario is impressive. He's got a big future if he keeps going the way he's going. He's going to be a real top keeper.
Okay, I think the next one's a bit of a no-brainer. Right back, Porro, right? You take Porro with Trips and Tino, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll take Porro.
Right. So if we're talking fit centre backs, right? You've got Van der Ven and Romero. You've got Shearer and Botman, right? From a Newcastle perspective, are you swapping any of those?
Yeah.
Who?
Mickey Van der Ven for Shearer.
Yeah.
As much as I love Fabian Shearer, yeah.
Fabian Shearer.
I like Van der Ven. Did you see that assist for the goal last week? That is
can he
tyrannical. That's what you call, Colossus from X-Men. That's what that was. Juggernaut, yeah? Juggernaut.
Can he score in the Champions League? But anyway.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I
mean? All right. So you're saying Van der Ven. Obviously, Darren T, you're going to say Van der Ven, right?
I'm keeping them both. Romero's colossal, man. And he's a real leader. He's a leader of men. I'm telling you
when he's on the pitch, yeah, because that brother gets sent off. He's a couple
times. He's a couple
liability,
times.
Yeah.
Look at him for Argentina, man. He's 2 Copa Americas.
Yeah, they love thugs over there, right?
Yeah, man.
Romero.
Wow.
Romero. I can't turn around.
You know?
Botman is very, very good. He's very, very good.
Class.
And I'm not going to say he's not, bruv. But Romero is a footballer, bruv. He's a footballer, and he just seems to be growing as he furthers in his Tottenham career. But Romero is about how old is Romero? Do you know what? I've got to Google it now. Romero's young.
I think he's still quite young,
mature.
Romero's young.
He's like 24.
I don't think he's older than 25.
I
think he's young.
He's
young. 26. He's 26. 1998. Okay. 26. Actually, yeah. So he's played 100. He's played 100 games for Tottenham. I'm shocked. I'm like, I thought we just bought him. It feels like we just
could have played
him.
about 120 if he stayed on the pitch. But anyway, 80. Who you going for? Who you going for?
I'm gonna have to stick with Botman and Shearer. I'm gonna have to. Yeah. If you're saying both players being fit on a good day, ooh.
He's the best passer of the ball out of all of them, isn't he? It depends if you want to play football. If you want to play football from the back, he's the best footballer out of all 4 of them, basically.
I agree with AC, man.
So it depends, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, when it comes to football. But Romero's not bad, both of them brothers ain't bad, Romero, if you saw a couple through passes, he was anyway. Okay. But Fabian Shearer is very good with his feet. Very, very good with his feet. But anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Now, assuming obviously we play 3 midfield, right? So
we ain't done left back yet though.
Oh, left back, sorry. Left back. Who's your left back? Oh, Udogie gets the left back spot. He does. I'm sorry. That's for me personally. I don't know about you guys. Anyone disagree?
Yeah, I can't argue with that, to be honest.
You're talking about right now, Udogie?
Yeah, because we're talking about Hall versus that, basically.
So 3 years time is maybe another conversation, but right now,
when you get to the midfield, right? So the free midfield, Darren, who's your free midfield?
It's gonna get spicy now.
The strongest midfield.
Well, our strongest midfield in Tottenham's strongest midfield.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. I'd say Bissouma. It could be Bissouma, Maddison, Sarr, Bissouma, Maddison, Kulusevski, right? Because Kulusevski's been balling since pre-season in the middle.
Then, for you,
Bissouma, Maddison. It's tough. Do you know what? That's the tough one because I'm still Archie Gray's still and Bergvall's still there.
All right, but
Like
none
I
of
said,
them
None
are displacing Bruno Gomes, bro. Let's be honest.
No, I'm not. Yeah, but I'm listen. You know what I was gonna say, innit? You didn't give me a chance. You know what I mean? Yeah, Guimaraes is better. Guimaraes is better than all of them, right? Let's be real. So I'm taking Guimaraes in a heartbeat. In fact, if you ever watch this Guimaraes, come to death row.
Are you mad?
Come to death row.
Man did a stooge night on the.
Jeff's an AC, right?
You don't want to see Eddie Howe all up in your videos.
All up in the videos.
Come on, man.
Jefferson and AC, I think we agree that it's Joe Linton, Bruno, and Tonali is our strongest midfield, right?
We're playing 3 in the middle.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
We're not putting Longstaff in there, no?
Don't you dare. Don't you. I thought we were going to mention his name. Don't you dare. But no,
some fans would. Some fans would. They want the local lad in there.
Some fans think Longstaff should start on the Spurs game. But anyway, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Let him start on the Spurs game. Let him start.
He will.
See, that's what Darren wants.
I'd probably take Guimaraes and Tonali. Joe Linton is good, but is he better than Sarr? I don't know. Obviously,
I thought you were going to say Maddison, bro.
Yeah.
No, Maddison, yeah.
I think Maddison
is a tough one.
If you played a triangle with a double pivot and the one in front, you would go Maddison at the top with Bruno and Tonali sitting in.
Tonali sitting, yeah.
That's quite strong.
Depends if you play flat or with the.
Yeah, because if we go by form, Basuma, apart from Everton game, Basuma hasn't been in form. Sarr is very good, but he's still quite young and still quite raw. He's not as accomplished as Tonali and Guimaraes. So I'd probably have Guimaraes, Tonali, and Maddison.
Okay, and I think we know the front three, but just who's the front three? Let's start with right-sided forward.
Right-sided forward. Who's on your right side? Who's on your right
Jacob
side?
Murphy.
This is when we fail. This is when we fail. This is where we'll
Murphy or Almiron, but when it's gonna be Murphy, so we have to say Murphy.
Well, I think Murphy is going to be Murphy out of Odebear or Johnson. I'm not taking Murphy. I'm not taking Murphy over. I don't know. I think I might stick with Odebear. You know.
Okay.
Johnson, an informed Johnson's better than Murphy.
Johnson is better than Murphy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Left-sided forward.
Huh?
Left-sided forward.
We got Son all day long.
We got Gordon.
I still take Son. Son just shades it, you know. Son just shades it because
I'd agree.
Just
Son's a bad man. He's a baller, man.
Son's a better finisher.
Gordon to the right.
Oh, what? You want to go with Barnes on the left, Gordon on the right? Is that what you're saying?
It's still on the left.
Hey.
Now, Gordon's a serious guy. Serious guy. Gareth Southgate should have been playing him on the left-hand side for England, 100%. Gordon is a bad man, but because Son is Son, you know what I mean? Yeah.
He's
Son's legit, bruv. Do you know what cracked me up about Son? Wasn't it? He had that incentive that if South Korea won the Asian Cup, he wouldn't have to do military service.
Yeah.
They pulled it out and won the competition, innit? And he got an award from the president and all that stuff. I thought, bad man.
Serious guy, man. His
man,
goal output is
literally
ridiculous. His goal contribution output is ridiculous. So
Son on the left, and I think we all know it's Isak up top, right? So
easy.
You don't need to dispute that. So okay, kind of even. But moving on now, obviously, we had the League Cup draw yesterday. Newcastle were involved in a second round game against Nottingham Forest. Darren T, what were your thoughts on the game and Newcastle's performance?
To be honest with you, I mean, you scored in 18 seconds. So I looked up and it's just like the ball's getting to the back of the net. Good start. You tailed off towards the end of the first half. Listen, Forest are a good side, you know. Forest are a good side. It's Nuno in it. He's got them purring. And they gave you they gave you trouble. Newcastle did look lackluster in huge parts of that game. They didn't look. I don't know if you were disinterested. I don't know, or you just in generally lackluster. But I thought both teams could have gone on to win it. Both teams had their chances, but when Newcastle scored, I thought to myself, "Do you know what? I knew what was going to happen. I knew you were through. Once you scored that equaliser, I thought you're through." Yeah.
What equaliser?
1-1, wasn't it?
We went one in. We went.
Guy.
Oh,
sorry, my bad. I'm getting mad. When they scored their equaliser, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
You know what? Don't forget, mind me. I've been up a long time today. Yeah. So you scored first. They scored their equaliser. I felt like, I don't know. It's just once he went to 90 minutes, I just thought, yeah, you lot are gonna get it. You lot are gonna get it.
I mean, I did say this game would go to penalties. I just knew it. But like I said, we flew out the trap after 18 seconds. Great involvement from Tonali, which we could talk about in a bit, with the through ball to Miggy, and he played it first time through to Isak. Some will say, keeper should have done better, but it was a good shot from Isak. And if you notice, both Tonali and, if you look at it, Tonali and Willock were running at the same pace towards the goal. So, and then Willock's there to slot it in. And that's what we've missed. Willock's directness and his running with the ball. Unfortunately, he goes off injured.
You're going to miss it again, ain't you? You're going to miss it again.
Yeah, he's gone off injured. Doesn't know how long he's going to be out for. Bruno comes on. And as usual, we started off decent. And then after like a few minutes, we just faded. We just reverted how we've been doing for the previous two games. Looking flat, giving the ball away. Joelinton was poor again. We still created a couple of opportunities in that half. I mean, Tonali could have scored soon after. Good move again. I think Joelinton put one just wide, and Miggy had a shot as well. We could have put a bit of distance between us and Forest, and we didn't take our chance. And then, like I said, Forest grew into the game, and we just went flat. And then second half, we knew what was coming. They were putting on the pressure. Bad goal to concede from the set piece to get the equaliser. And then obviously, again, Eddie Howe makes the changes. And again, once he makes the changes, this was bang on, 61 minutes, I think it was.
I was going to ask Darren if he knows what the average minutes is that Eddie makes a change. Would have been a good quiz question.
Yeah, but listen, he makes the changes. Tino comes on for Trippier, who didn't have the greatest of games. Forgot who else come on at the time. Gordon as well. And we got a bit more a stronger hold on the game, and we were a better team again for the final 20 minutes, creating opportunities. Barnes went close. To be fair, Pope didn't really have a save to make really in the game, but again, it was just a flat performance in that large chunk of the game. Something's not clicking, and obviously it goes to penalties. When Joelinton missed it, I thought, you know what, this could be it now.
The thing is, I knew he was going to miss it.
So did I.
I knew it.
But
he
had such a shocker of the
see
game.
It in his face, man.
But it wasn't a bad penalty. It wasn't a bad penalty, but it was at a decent height for the keeper. And it's one of the ones, if you guess the right way, you save it.
I feel like he got psyched out. I feel like he got psyched out by the keeper,
He probably did,
I feel like he got psyched out. He was jumping around. He was very animated. He was jumping around. He's got his hands up like that. And I just thought to myself, you know what, you're going to have to bury this, because this guy looked like he was ready to save this. Do you know what I mean? And it was quite a choreographed penalty, unfortunately.
Yeah, credit to the
just to say, their keeper is 6'8", so this guy is huge in goal.
Yeah, that must be quite daunting facing him. But saying that though, credit to the rest of them: Bruno, Gordon, and especially Longstaff with the winner.
Did you shout out Longstaff there?
Yeah.
Did you shout him out?
To his credit, when he came on, he did okay. He did okay. He one of the better players, dare I say. But not enough to start in my opinion. But anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, he slots it away, and we're through to the next round. Jefferson, what were your thoughts?
I think it's kind of, when you were talking about it at the beginning, it sort of follows that pattern, doesn't it? I think we're arguably the easiest team to scout. So if Andrew's watching that game, we would have been the easiest team to scout, because you know how we're going to start. Intense, intense, intense for the first 15 minutes. Then there's always a lull. We get tired, lack concentration, go a little bit flat in 6s and 7s. Teams tend to then dominate after that. We can't control the game. We're chasing the game. And then obviously second half, it's a lottery, but we tend to know the consistent time he makes those changes. He was right bang on cue with 60 minutes. And he hopes basically that the changes will have an impact, which it normally does. Now, I think we definitely dominated the game from 75 minutes onwards. I think a key theme has been Isak being isolated. We saw that play out again, and really, really poor finishing. I thought, I think the opportunities that were really close was obviously Lewis Hall. Good save from the keeper, and then that one on the right side with Barnes. I actually thought that went
Barnes
in.
shot. Yeah,
Good. That was a positive, actually. Seeing Barnes on the right side look lively and linking up well with Tino. Now, obviously, we saw two different sides to Tino, because the defensive side of the game, he got caught out at the weekend. But actually, as there wasn't too much defending to do at the time he was on, as we were pushing, you could see his attacking attributes, and he linked up very, very well with Barnes on that side. It's just frustrating that we've had to go to penalties. Luckily, there's no extra time, but you just feel, you're building up extra lactic and expending sort of mental energy, which I know it's early in the season, but we're heading into a big game against arguably a rival on Saturday. So
I was happy about
the question is you could argue it's an advantage to Spurs. And I said this to you guys in our group, that is there something there? Because when I saw Isak, I think he had a challenger, he twisted his ankle or something. That's gonna be a knock. And I said to you guys, just make 10 changes and say, I don't care about this game. Whatever happens, happens. And at best, do what Forest did. Bring on your best players after 70 minutes.
I was going to say, because don't forget,
do you know what I mean?
As much as we've gone through, we did play against Forest's B team. Yeah, they made 10 changes for that game. So
no Morgan Gibbs White.
You know what I mean? No Elanga, all of that. Like,
that man was just sitting on the bench, boy, watching with bibs on.
So we have to put things into perspective. But the one positive was the return of Sandro Tonali. I think he was our best player. For the 60 minutes that he was on that pitch, I think he was our best player. Like I said earlier, he was had the goal involvement, and he could have scored as well. But just the passing, being on the front foot, he looked aggressive in the tackle. He looked fit. Obviously, he wasn't match fit, but he looked fit. He's putting himself about. It was a joy to watch. I mean, I don't know if that's adrenaline from a return. He's been itching to get back on the pitch, but you just saw the levels of, and I'm telling you, if he's anyway, he could be more important than Bruno, bro. Yeah, he could be more important than Bruno. But,
I ain't seen him this excited in a while, AC. Look how excited he is.
I was gassed, bro. Well, I was so happy. And the one thing is, I just didn't want him to have a bad game. After all the 10 months, I'm thinking, please don't have a bad game. But probably was head and shoulders above anyone on that pitch. Him and Willock, to be fair. Willock was very
world
good.
class.
I have to say, like, it's the little intricate details with Tonali. The way he could just like receive the ball, one touch, pass it in the perfect direction, perfectly weighted. He was doing it all the time. I was just like, this guy is on something else.
Bro,
but I do want to say, go on.
Quickly. The amount of times he fed the ball on the right hand side to Miggy Almiron, bro, on a 6, and the brother just cut him back again. And I don't think people caught this. Yeah, he put a through ball to him, and Miggy wasted it. And the look at Tonali's face, he's just like, oh my god, like this is what I've got to work with. Yeah, he knows. Yeah, that. But anyway, the link up.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look. But I do want to say this, that what was quite interesting, because obviously I was so happy for Willock to score that goal, but we looked so good with Willock, Tonali, Joe Linton. That link up was magic. So I'm really gutted that he's injured now. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. But I do want to think it's quite a weird thing, and I think I said this within our group. I think I told you, Jefferson, that when Bruno came on for Willock, all of a sudden our tempo dropped. And I was just like, slow down the game, because Bruno's obviously not going to be as like running at it towards the opposition's defense like Willock does. And Willock,
no one can run with the ball like Willock in our team, bro. Nobody.
He is probably our. I don't want to say he could be probably the best ball carrier that we have, actually.
He is.
Him and Gordon, I would say.
I thought he's gonna have a big. Obviously, there's more season to come, but he was gonna be so important to our play, man. He's underrated.
That attack though, when they were all running and Tonali's pace, that was scary, man. I was just like, and I wasn't even quite ready. I remember just sitting down. I didn't even see man kick the ball like to do the kickoff. I think I started watching at like 10 seconds in, and then the goal went in straight away. It was quite funny. But Tonali, man, I think he's going to be a really important player for us this season. And I hope he starts on Sunday.
Darren T, what's your thoughts on Sandro Tonali?
He had a very good game yesterday. Very good technical baller. Very good technical footballer. Does the fundamentals well. I mean, I agree with you. Great weight of pass. He's always looking for the right pass. It's quite quick, which I didn't realize. And he's going to cause us a lot of trouble on Sunday. I'm just hoping Hal benches him for some disciplinary reasons.
Longstaff.
Yeah, exactly. Longstaff is in for Longstaff. Eddie Howe has made the surprise change of Longstaff in for Sandro Tonali.
Don't get me mad.
No, he's a very good footballer. He's a very, very good footballer. I think he was impressive. He was very impressive yesterday. If this is the sign of things to come, if you can really strengthen your squad, it could be problematic. I just think that the squad that you have, he's just head and shoulders above most of them. And they have to kind of get with the program where he's concerned. You understand? They've got to be with him in terms of receiving the ball. He passes it. What are they going to do when they receive it? Are they going to waste it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes you've got like such a bad boy in your team, but the rest of them ain't really that.
They're Mickeys.
But then saying that Anthony Gordon, Isak for definite is going to thrive. Hopefully not on Sunday, and hopefully not enough to finish above us, but he will thrive. Do you know what I mean? He will thrive. He will thrive. I think so. So it's gonna be an interesting season for you, but it's just about keeping them fit as well.
So Jefferson, what do you?
Sorry,
sorry.
I was just gonna say, add a point about Tonali. The reason he is a difference maker, particularly compared to the rest of our midfield, we've talked about this before. He's playing 1 and 2 touch football. He's got that picture of how he's going to release the ball before he receives it. People do not understand the craft of a midfielder that can do that. And the other thing is, I think he's very much like a tempo player. So although you described how athletic and quick he is, I think he's very much of the mold of Kroos and Modric. If you notice, a lot of the players, they want to give him the ball, give it back, give him the ball, give it back, because they know he knows what he's going to do with it. If you notice with Bruno, he can do it, but he has to take a couple of touches, or he's got to dribble past the man or spin the man. Tonali can do it, and he's 10 yards, do it. It's 5 yards, do it. It's 10 yards. And that helps a little bit. Whereas if you notice with Longstaff, he's very similar to Mr. Rice. He's just kind of dawdling on the ball a bit, 4 or 5 touches, gets clamped.
Oh, mate, Declan Rice.
Man, shooting down Rice.
That's the difference.
Declan Longstaff, raw. That's what man said.
So Spurs have got who is it? Coventry in the next round, right?
Coventry away to Coventry. We're away to Coventry. Repeat of the '87 Cup final. I want revenge. I want revenge. I was 10 when that happened, and I cried. Yeah.
Right. No way.
Yep.
Scars real.
I cried.
We've got AFC Wimbledon away. So both away.
Listen, they're taking man down, They took down Ipswich. They're taking down Premier League opposition. I was at
Dude.
the AFC Wimbledon.
Oh, don't worry about that.
I was at the Bromley game. They beat Bromley first round.
Oh.
I was at that game. Not a bad side, not bad.
Yeah, but the AFC Wimbledon, bro, I expect to see the likes of Osalu playing, bro. Like it's gonna be light work. But
you should beat him easy.
Get your comments in. Let us know who is there going to be any shocks in the next round? What are your thoughts on Tonali's performance? And going back to the previous topic, who's your not your all-time current Newcastle and Tottenham 11? Yeah, who have you got in there? Is it different to what we think? Let us know. But yeah, I think it's right about time we get into the big game itself. Sunday at 1:30 p.m. on Sky Sports. Newcastle United at home to Tottenham Hotspur. First of all, the lineups, right? So, from a Newcastle perspective, are we expecting a different lineup to the team that lined up against Bournemouth last week? And if so, where the change is going to be made? So I'm going to start with you, AC.
Man. I'm going to jump straight up to the left wing and right wing. I think we have to be on the real big front foot. I want to see, I don't know which one's going to play on which side, but I want to see Barnes and Gordon start straight up. Okay. We have to. At the moment, I don't think you can bench Barnes. Honestly, the guy, he's in better form at the moment than Gordon is. Gordon's, I don't know what's going on with Gordon. His head's in the cloud still a little bit. But credit to due of Gordon, though, he can still score you a goal like he did against Bournemouth. So you can't bench him either. And at the moment, we cannot start Almiron. Let's just put it straight up. We cannot start Almiron. And I don't think Murphy at the moment, he's going through a rough patch as well. And I just feel like the first 15 minutes of this game is going to be so important. And, we talked about earlier that generally we start on our front foot quite well. And yeah, we might get tired. We might get a bit lackluster, whatever. But let's keep the intensity there. And I feel like with Barnes and Gordon to start, it's setting a good opportunity of what our attention is for that game. Because I kind of feel like, from my perspective in this is a long game, obviously, of 90 minutes, but we have to score in that first half. And then, when we think about the previous games, the scoreline was quite high at 20 minutes in, right? But I don't think it's going to be like that. This is going to be a tight game. I'm thinking about my score prediction already, but I don't think we're going to see loads of goals. I think it's going to be really tight.
I personally think that Murphy's going to start the game. I think that Eddie Howe's going to think the same methodical approach as, assess the game after 60 minutes. And if a change needs to be made, a positive change, it'll bring on who I think is going to be Harvey Barnes, because I think Gordon's going to start again. In terms of the front three, Jefferson, how do you think he's going to line up?
I agree with you. We know this guy. He's stubborn. AC, man, you're giving him too much credit, mate. There's absolutely no chance in hell he's going to switch it up. And also, he's very much the kind of guy, very similar to Southgate. He'd rather keep his powder dry. Do you know what I mean? That's why I think we're very easy to scout, because it's very repetitive. I think, for example, he will bring Longstaff in place of Tonali. I think Tonali will be a sub. And I think Barnes will be a sub, because he wants those options to up the tempo in the second half.
I'm going to say this now. If we do that, we are going to lose this game.
Well, I'll tell you what for free.
Because he's not going to make no changes at half time if it's not going well. And if he thinks we could bring it on at 65 minutes, it's too late against Tottenham. Too late.
I agree.
Let me ask you something, AC.
Never too late against Tottenham, I'll tell you that for free.
No. Honestly,
have you seen anything different? That's the thing. Have you seen him do anything different?
I know, but the way I see it, Eddie Howe is on microscope level of attention being watched right now. You don't laugh at me, right? But the ice is starting to crack a little bit. Believe it or not, it is.
You're this ice, bro.
It's cracking. Listen, man.
Corville and Dean, mate.
Listen, I'm gonna put some animated gifs on ice cracking and Skater just falling through, right? But listen, I just feel like he has to. No, I'm saying no.
No, but why? Why? If you think about it, from his perspective, right? We won the first game, we drew the second game away from home. We haven't lost, right? So why change this formula? He loves Sean Longstaff, and also my thing, I'd like to see Tonali start, right? Because I think he's more effective starting than coming off the bench.
Exactly.
Tonali, I can't see him impacting the game that well coming on in 60 minutes and getting half an hour.
And think about the reverse. What, you're gonna bring on Longstaff at 65 minutes? No.
I'd rather do that because Tonali can't last the whole game. He can't. Yeah? After 10 months out, he after 60 minutes against Forest, but maybe he was gassing after 20, he had to take a little break in that. But we need his tempo, like you said, he sets the tempo on what he can bring offensively early on. If you're going to attack Spurs, like from the get-go, you need the players that are capable of doing it. Like, I'm not saying Longstaff can't, but Tonali is a different level. But bringing him on for half an hour, I don't get it. But I'm telling you, Murphy's starting that game as well. Murphy and Longstaff starting that game.
So you're thinking that Barnes is going to be on bench?
Yeah, I think he's going to be on the bench. Unless Anthony Gordon's sold tomorrow, I think Barnes will be starting on the bench. Yeah, but in terms of the back four now, is it Trippier or Tino at right back?
I think Trippier will start.
Trippier. Yeah, I think Trippier as well.
I think so.
If we want that experience and control, and also Trippier is just going to be whipping them balls in, we need Trippier to start, in my opinion. And then Tino's quite good then to come on later. And then if it is like full court pressure and we're trying to like get that winner or trying to get that equalizer, Tino's going to be very good on the offense.
And left back, we're saying Hall or Kelly.
I think Hall.
I think Hall as well. I think Eddie actually will go for Hall. I think he will.
Hall because
he wants to attack Spurs. I think he wants.
Yeah, you want offensive left back, and with Hall as well, he also not just offensive, but he can drive himself so much he ends up in midfield, and we kind of need that extra body as well.
So Darren T, before we go to Spurs' predicted lineup for myself, who do you think Newcastle's biggest threats are, and whereabouts are they on the pitch?
Tonali, Gordon, Isak, immediately.
Yeah.
Tonali, Gordon, Isak. It's going to be a tale of two midfields, I think, and I think your midfield is stronger than ours. So I think we may lose that battle there. We've seen what Isak did already.
He's due a goal.
Seen what he's done. Yeah, anytime. Listen, Dr. Tottenham will be there for him probably. So Isak is dangerous. You don't want to give him a sniff. I'm telling you. So he's extremely dangerous, regardless of what happened yesterday. Isak is extremely dangerous, and it's dependent on Angie's high line, because I'm still not sold.
Is Van der Ven over his nightmares?
I would hope so. I would expect so. He's a Premier League footballer. He's he's got to win that battle of the mind. I don't think it's going to happen again. I think Van der Ven will probably keep a close eye, but it also depends on whether Van der Ven's injured or not, because I'm hearing rumours that he might be injured. But I think it could be Tottenham Twitter gas, or there could be something in it. So that would be Dragusin in there, but Dragusin's a good
He's a good defender.
So I'm not too worried, if you get what I'm saying. I prefer Van der Ven, but Dragusin needs his chance as well. And he'd be looking to prove himself against the likes of Isak, so I'm fine with that. Anthony Gordon down the left against Porro. Porro defensively is not amazing. He's not amazing. Offensively, he's wonderful, but and we have no. I can't believe I'm saying this. We have no Emerson Royal to maybe come in and help out. We've got Jed Spence, who I do like. But Porro could have trouble with Gordon. Anybody has trouble with Gordon.
Just to say quickly on Emerson Royal, right? Like, we all know how useless he was for Spurs. But again, when I went to that 4-1 game, I think he came on a sub and he was balling out, man. We made him look like a proper Brazilian. It was embarrassing. Man was doing flicks and tricks over. It was
before one done. Now Royal is
ridiculous.
actually better defensive. Is a better defender, a better pure defender than Porro. Jed
Porro
Spence
worries me, man.
Going forward.
Because he's got a shot. He's got a shot on him, and we
Yeah.
like to back off sometimes. He's got a shot on him, and he's got a devilish cross as well.
Yeah.
And so it depends if Maddison's floating around, and then we know Son like, so you've got 3 legitimate threats who can pop off a shot from out of nowhere if we're not on it.
Yes. But so Darren T, what do you think your lineup's going to be? How do you think you're going to?
Back line speaks for itself, doesn't it? So Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven or Dragusin, Udogi. That's nailed on. Midfield is going to be interesting. I'd go with Bissouma, Maddison, and Kulusevski just because they've been successful in pre-season, and I know it is Everton, but they were. Kulusevski is much better in the middle than he is as on the wing. I would still keep him in the middle. He's a good outlet. If you saw the assist he gave to Bissouma, that's what he can do at the edge of the box. I'd like to see him continue. There's no reason to drop him, even though Sarri is good. There's no reason to drop any of those 3 right now. I'd like to give Bissouma another chance. Hopefully, he's raring to go after that foolishness he did. It showed against Everton. So I'd keep Bissouma, Maddison, and Kulusevski. Up top, it's going to be it's dependent on whether Solanke's fit or not.
Or is there a chance that he could still be fit?
I thought it was only for 1 game, but maybe not. Maybe not. To be honest, let's just leave him out because I don't think it is actually. So he's probably going to put Son up top. Richarlison comes on as a sub, so it's going to be Son up top, Odegaard on the left, Brennan Johnson on the right.
Okay.
That could be. You know what? It's going to be a cause for concern for many Spurs fans. I don't think Odegaard is the cause for concern. I just think Brendan Johnson needs to gain confidence and step up to the plate. Because the last couple of games and pre-season actually as well, he's not been the Brendan Johnson that we would expect. Although Tottenham fans don't seem to have that expectation. I do. I do. I'm sorry. I'm riding with him for the season, and then we'll see what happens at the end of the season. Do you see what I'm saying? It's quick to write off players.
I'm telling you, bro. If ever a player needs a confidence boost, play against Newcastle, and they'll start balling out or score. I'm telling you.
That's what I say. That's what I say about Tottenham. That's what I say about Spurs. That's what I say. We call ourselves Dr. Tottenham. Spurs fans call us Dr. Tottenham because if you're in a scoring drought, play Spurs.
Bro, the same as Newcastle. But before we go to predictions, right, Darren T, where do you think you can win this game? Where do you think? What area should you target against Newcastle? Where do you think you could hurt us?
You know, as Jefferson said, if you're going to stand off Porro, he's going to take a shot all day long. Son is always dangerous. You're going to have to kind of try and keep him under wraps as much as possible. And we've got to win that midfield battle. That's going to be very, very difficult to do. Very difficult to do. It's doable, but it's going to be very difficult. Especially with the likes of Tonali, he clears all of our midfielders. Hopefully Joe Linton can actually get sent off this time.
Wrong North London team.
He'll have the goal against Spurs, to be fair.
He does, doesn't he? He does.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what position he plays, he likes to score against Tottenham.
I was there for his first goal for Newcastle at the new Spurs Stadium. Praying like
that was a sick goal, by the way.
Yeah.
I know it was Steve Bruce, but that was a sick goal. You look at the passes in the build-up.
And that
we're not going to talk about that, are we?
R.I.P.
But yeah, I think that midfield battle. If we can win that midfield battle, I think then pushes on. Like I
It's
said,
interesting you say that because our midfield is very easy to bypass. Yeah, because we haven't got a DM, a recognised DM. We play with a lot of number 8s and stuff. If you see Newcastle, when we concede on transition, the midfield gets bypassed so
isn't
easily.
Joe Linton quite decent at breaking up the play though?
But he's been terrible for the last 2 games. Absolutely shocking. Yeah, so he needs a big game. He needs a big game.
And here come Tottenham. Yeah, so he's quite good at breaking up the play. He's very strong. It's a tough one. I think it's a tough one because it really depends on who's up front. I would ideally it'd be like Solanke, Son, Alderweireld. Then I'd be very confident. I don't think Archie Gray and Bergvall are gonna get starts. They're not gonna get starts. He's gonna go with a more experience. But I think as well, you can bring them on and they can make an impact. Bergvall both of them can definitely make an impact. Very good ball carriers as well, so you're gonna have to stop them.
I think the subs will make a difference in this game. I really
do. You think it'll be counter-attack then?
I just want to ask a quick question. What do you actually think about the high line? Like Ange's high line. Sorry. I had to bring this in because it's a thing, isn't it? It's a thing.
It is a thing. I know it's part of his. I know last season, right? This is what I will say, and I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be balanced here, right? I'm not a meltdowny type of guy, or I'm not a meltdowny type of guy. But last season it was suicidal, but we didn't have the personnel to actually play the system he wanted. This season, we brought a few in. Do you know what I mean? We brought a few in. So he should, and he's had a whole preseason to instill his philosophy in all of them. So I still think he needs to adapt when we're under the cosh, because we cannot have the likes of Nicholas Jackson banging 4 goals against us in a season. Like, we cannot do that. We cannot do that, right? I'm so annoyed by that. But because it was his first season, I'm giving the man the benefit of the doubt, innit? So, but he needs to be, I think he needs to be a little less stubborn when it comes to changing things around or dropping back a little bit. And also set pieces, I think we're very, very susceptible to conceding. So, I mean, the jury's still out for him, but I think he needs to adapt. And I don't think he should be playing that such a high line against Newcastle after what happened last time. Plus Tonali. Remember, you got Tonali this time. Do you know what I mean?
That ball over the top, made that first time ball.
Carnage last time. Absolute carnage. We cannot afford for that to happen again. So I just think if it remains to be seen how well that's going to work with this season, with the players he has chosen and who have adopted his philosophy. Do you know what I mean? So I've tried to give him a benefit of the doubt. Exactly. And we still got a few to get. So I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. But if he's like that this season and is suicidal when we concede 63 goals in the league again, then out you go, mate. I'm sorry. 63 goals. That was last season.
63.
Last season, yeah, 63.
That's about the same as us, I think.
I
we were 67 or 65 or something.
We conceded a lot of goals last season.
We were we were down there with the Burnleys and do you know what I mean? The relegated sides, and that's unacceptable, and it cannot happen again. It cannot happen this time. So he's got to make sure that it doesn't. Simple as.
How many goals did you score last season?
Not as much as us.
I think we scored a lot. I can't remember how.
You might have scored more than us. I don't know. Actually.
We scored a good amount. Our goal difference was. I don't think our goal difference was even minus. But we scored. It was like Aussie dealers football. Do you know what I mean? Scored loads and concede more. It was like that. We can't afford to do that.
Classic of like you score 2, we'll score 4, and
Maddison got injured though, didn't he?
Maddison got injured and then didn't come back. He was not on form. Basuma got sent off against Luton. Bad. The form was terrible.
You scored 74 goals. We scored 85. You conceded 61 goals. We conceded 62. Yeah.
Was it 61? Okay, 60, whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I do remember the start of your season. Obviously, Maddison was just like on form. And I think our fan base was just like... Our fan base was vexed because obviously around that summer last last summer window and stuff, there was that little bit of like, could he come to Newcastle? But obviously, he went to yourself in the end, and I think a lot of fans were quite gutted about that. But obviously, he went on a good roll. So I guess, are you looking at Maddison potentially going to another like good patch coming up now in the season now?
He has to. So he just has to. He can't continue that form, the form of last season. He knows it. You know, he did, because he didn't make the England squad, and rightly so, in my opinion. If he wants to get back in the England squad, which seems to be his main goal, then he's got to be playing. But at the same, again, he's gonna have a Solanke. He's gonna have a focal point. I saw him do some all right link up play with Bear once or twice. Do you know what I mean? Good link up play with Son. He's got to maintain that form throughout the season. I hope he will. I'm not going to vouch for him, but I hope he will.
Okay. Let's go to predictions, right? I think I can kind of think of what most people are going to say to this, but we'll start with you, Jefferson. What are you predicting? What scoreline are you predicting?
I'm split between 2-1 to the tune or 1-1. I think we've struggled to score goals this season, so I'm gonna go 1-1 draw.
Okay, AC.
By the way, and I think Dom Solanke will score because he's got a good record against us in recent games.
Okay, so you think he plays then? Okay. AC.
I think it's going to be 2-2. I think we're going to see quite a few goals. It's definitely going to be a mistake in us, but I can see Isak scoring to start getting his goals for the season, because he hasn't scored yet this season yet so far. But I can also see Gordon scoring. But I just know Son is going to score. I can see it. Son and Maddison, I can see them scoring.
I'm going for 2-2, and I think that we'll take the lead. Spurs will equalise. Spurs will go 2-1 up, and we'll score late on. I think it's going to be 2-2. Isak will get on the score sheet. Son will get on the score sheet. Not sure about the other two, but an entertaining 2-2. I think it's going to be counter-attack versus counter-attack. I think that's just going to be playing. But Darren T, what do you reckon?
You know, the thing is, like, I'm just going to sound like a parrot, but I said an entertaining 2-2. Those are the exact words I was going to say. It's an entertaining 2-2. I don't trust that. I can't trust the high line. I can't. Isak will score. He's going to turn somebody inside out. Hopefully not Van de Ven again. He's just too good. We don't cope well with those kind of strikers. So he will score. Anthony Gordon's going to cause us a lot of problems. I do think Son will score as well. I don't know where the second goal. I think it's going to come from a surprise. I think it's going to come from somebody like a Romero header, or it might come from Brennan.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I think it might come from Brennan or something like that. But it's in my head, I've always had 2-2, and I'll take that, to stop the rot.
You know what? Part. That's why when I said predictions, I said I think I got what everyone's going to say. I knew everyone's going to say draw. I just knew it. Yeah, because
I thought you lot were going to say win. I thought you were going to say you were going to win.
Nah, bro. We're not.
We're realists here, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Our head ain't in the clouds.
Okay, so before we wrap up, right? Obviously tomorrow is transfer deadline day. Are we expecting any more signings between our clubs? Right, because it's not looking likely, is it?
We're all in the same camp. It's just like
we've blown the Gateway deal. Like, we're walking away from that. We were never going to get him, it seems, and I think it looks like it's all but over. We've wasted our time. No alternatives. Not going to strengthen the right wing position. So I think we're just going to go with what we've got, and it's that's why we're residents of the Heartbreak Hotel, lads. But so Darren, you're not expecting nothing either, right?
Daniel Levy is our chairman. Listen, sorry, I've got to say this.
That was an introduction, boy.
Listen, I'm pouring my heart out right now. See, this summer, I had a peaceful summer. You know why? Because the Euro was on. Euros were on. And when the Euros finished, I went abroad, came back. The Olympics were on. I zoned out of Spurs for the entire summer. Because we are always fed false promises in the summer. We're going to get this. We're going to get that. We're going to get the third. Nothing happens.
Like Darren Hills.
Nothing happens, bro. Nothing. Right? And yes, all right. We got Solanke in. I know we paid over the odds. I think the Odebear transfer was kind of like out of the blue and stuff like that. But I think, Daniel, it's a Levy tactic to just like say, well, I got Odebear out of the blue and blah, blah, blah. Look at that. Like, he's going to make it out like it's a Van der Vaart transfer, kind of. Van der Vaart type of transfer. Do you know what I mean? But we needed I still think we needed a solid DM. I think we needed somebody on the left wing. We needed a left back as well, because I can't believe we're still persisting with Ben Davies as backup. Because if Udogie gets injured, then it's it's curtains, man. I still didn't think we addressed in the key positions. The clear out was decent, but we still needed to address in key positions, and hence the reason I'm like, well, what expectations do I have for the season? Previously, I would have said we needed top 4 and a trophy, or at least the trophy. Do you know what I mean? And I just don't know now, because I don't know. It's an unknown quantity. But we ain't signing nobody tomorrow. It's always the same. We ain't had one of them transfer windows for a while. So no.
So you're just gonna join the rest of us just sitting in front of the TV, probably lock it off after about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
No more pitches expected.
They're not going to do live from St James's Park. It's not going to be featured.
Yeah, that's happening already on Tottenham Twitter. Like, the ones in the nose are just like, there's no more business. At first, it was 3 more in. Last week, it was 3 more in. Now it's like Tottenham are not expected to bring anybody else in, and it's the same. It's always the same. I just want to go back to the days of Harry Redknapp in the car, man. Do you know what I mean?
Good times, man.
Yeah, I want to go back to them days. Like, I think it's going to be a very boring transfer deadline day. I don't think anybody's going to really drop. FFP kind of helped to kill that.
Business. Yeah.
Or Chelsea will.
Chelsea was talking about another 7 players, bro.
7, yeah, on 8, 9, 15-year contracts.
You said you wanted a DM. Do you know what I find interesting with clubs like ours who are meant to be ambitious? Have you seen, for example, that Wolves are going to sign Andre for like 21 million? It's not breaking the bank. So I don't understand why our clubs aren't going for these kind of players,
well, because we've wasted that 20 million on Odi Vlachodimos, bro. Yeah? That's where our money's gone. Absolutely ridiculous.
I don't know. I wish we had a recruitment strategy like Brighton, or let me whisper this, Liverpool. I wish we had a decent recruitment strategy like that. Liverpool's recruitment is always been good, I think. Yeah, I like but Brighton always seem to get those
gems,
ballers in. Yeah, those gems. Look at Adingra. Oh my goodness gracious! Who? Everybody missed out on him.
Because they've got an engine that is well running. It's a machine that runs itself now. They got to a point where their system is just in place. I think they're going to continue to deliver free players through.
Brentford too as well.
Yeah. Well,
Brentford to an extent, not to the extent of Brighton. I think Brentford, but Brighton, Daniel Levy's had 23 years to have this well-oiled machine, and it's still a little rusty. So, it's just inexplicable. But yeah, we're all going to be sitting there crying and tweeting each other on the transfer deadline day.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
I ain't watching it. I ain't watching it.
No, but listen, that's a good place to wrap up, I think. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget, you can follow us on the Twitter as well at 90smags1990. We're available on audio, Spotify, Apple Podcast. I want to say thank you to our guest, Darren T. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if you want to
thank you for having me once again.
Plug any of your socials.
Just follow me on Twitter at Mr. Darren T, and also at Reach Higher Sports Management. Sorry, shameless plug.
Nah. Big up, big up.
Are you an agent, Darren?
I am, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen.
For life.
Nah, joking.
I'm
Public
in
enemy number one.
my mid to late 30s. Still got a few miles on the clock. You reckon you could sign me up? I could play maybe, you know, Division 8 or something kind of level. You know what I'm saying?
You sound like Sterling, Jefferson. You sound like Sterling.
You reckon? Can you play DM? Can you play DM? You'll be Daniel Levy can sign you on a free. All you have to say is the word free, innit? Say the
when I
word
was
free.
in my 20s, maybe.
But yeah, we'll leave it there. So until next time, let's hope we sign up with a 2-win. But yeah, man. Peace.
Peace.
Salute, people. Salute.